Hi, Mimi.
Hi.
We're not muted.
Good. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you? Thanks.
Good.
All things considered.
Yes.
Crazy time to be around.
Yeah. Good to have a remote job, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But this is normal for me. But I didn't know it was called quarantine.
Yeah.
How are things up there? And you're in Oregon, right?
Yeah, we're in Oregon, and we live so remote that it's actually been nice.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, it's so quiet around here. This must be what it was like in the 70s.
Must be, huh?
It's like a ghost town. No one's driving around. So it's like, where is everybody? Oh, this is like when it was a small town.
Huh.
Crazy.
It's very different.
Yep. Hopefully solved soon.
Yes. Where's Dennis? So Dennis is at the office.
Yes, exactly. He's got all the equipment there apparently, and he's busily getting everything
by
right.
himself.
Right, exactly. I was wondering how that was going to work. This is, of course, the solution, but I was like, are they going to want all those people just walking into their office?
Really? Yeah, I wonder. I haven't been in touch with anyone from the office. I'm not sure how they're handling things.
Mm-hmm. I would be surprised if they even had a whole crew. They probably just whatever's necessary or something.
Right. Yeah.
Is it catapult or tanking the real estate stuff, or how's it affecting you so far?
Well, since I'm somewhat out of it,
Okay.
I mean, I know it's changing a lot of things as far as how they do day-to-day business.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen posts from the from CAR, and they're actually having to change some things in the disclosures and that kind of thing. So it's just adding another level of, I don't know, care to the clients.
Right.
But yeah, so it must be very different. No open houses, things like that.
Yeah, what Brad Maskey just posted yesterday, I think it was, that this was his first time in however many, like 30 years, whatever his career. He had never missed, that Wednesday thing where you guys go out and see all
Oh,
the,
caravan,
yeah,
yeah.
and they canceled it. He goes, this is so weird. I've never missed one.
Yep. Yeah, that's true, because their meetings were usually about 100 people.
Hmm.
Yeah, so definitely.
I bet he's glad he lost that Tulare County supervisor race.
Oh, did he?
He did,
Uh,
yeah. He didn't really run a good race, but
uh,
yeah, I don't know how
yeah.
long you know Brad. I used to hang out with him and drinking with him and everything. And he was even
Uh-huh.
my landlord one time when I was renting a house,
Oh,
that famous one over in Marseille.
oh, that one.
Yeah, he was my landlord then.
Mm.
Crazy.
Mhm. Is Bernice new?
Yes.
See her working on
Hmm.
something.
Maybe her audio.
Let's see. So I'm not muted. So my husband's actually, well, he's working from home too.
Mhm.
So I know they have had meetings with several people online, and sometimes the connection's not that great because everyone's on it.
Yep.
But hopefully this will work.
Right, because there's a small.
Well, there's Robin.
Mhm. We might have a small turnout anyways.
Yeah,
I didn't see a whole lot of signups on the agenda.
no,
And
Dave's on there.
everything has me so discombobulated. I tried to log in yesterday. I'm like, oh, I'm a day early.
Oh,
It's better than being a day late, Gare.
yeah.
Right, again, the audio.
Hello,
Maybe
Dennis.
Oh, we could. I could.
Okay, there's only me, so I think it'll
There
probably
you
work.
go.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Right now, Olga's not here, so that's why I don't have anything else out.
Oh, well, I don't know that you need to, do you?
No, actually, today was just mainly trying to show people how to get into Zoom and make sure everybody knows the different places to click on things. So
Okay.
that was the plan for today. I think Robin was going to try to remotely, and
I
maybe
see
Dave.
her on.
No, I can't come.
Oh, I hear Robin.
Yeah, no, I told you I couldn't come. I'm waiting to hear from the hospital when they're going to do my test.
Oh, okay.
Have you been sick, Robin?
I've been sick since the 29th of February.
Oh my goodness.
I felt okay when I came to the meeting, but I had a fever when I got home that night, last Thursday or that afternoon.
Oh,
So, and the symptoms I thought were gone, but the cough didn't go away. It got worse, and now I'm
Mhm.
having breath. So I'm a little nervous.
oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. Well,
That's okay. I'm still eating healthy. I'm eating good, and so. But I'm ready. Got my clipboard, do my dairy. I got my definition. I mean,
Well, right now, Robin, I don't think we're going to have a full meeting. I think we're just going to be a few of us here.
so Olga's not coming?
No, she sent me a message that she didn't want to be, I think she was scheduled to Toastmaster, and she said she checked that she wasn't going to be here. Then I went to her office to get the things, and her office is locked.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't have any of our stuff out.
Oh, and I mean, I don't know that you're going to have to put all that stuff out, are you? Just put a banner on the screen.
We're a ribbon.
There's Dave.
Yeah, a ribbon. Oh, see, Dave's got a background.
Yeah, Dave's cool.
I'll talk about that.
He's in San Francisco right now.
all right.
Hanging out at his house that he didn't tell anybody about.
So that's what I want to know how to do.
Okay, I'll cover all that today.
Okay.
At least you have the world map behind you.
Yeah, yeah, that was a gift to Scott. Long
Now I
time
can,
ago.
They can track where he's at. Right?
Yeah. We were going to pin on it where he's been, but we never did that. I thought that was my daughter's idea, but never did that.
Yeah, 5 more minutes. Well, we need right here, we got what I call Seattle weather. It's trying to rain and cast.
Is
Sure.
it?
It rained this morning.
It is spring weather here.
Hmm.
Sunny.
We had
Um,
that yesterday. It's been back
yeah.
and forth, yeah. But we did-
Daffodils are blooming. So is anyone there, Dennis?
I'm the only one in the room right now.
Or in the office?
It's open.
It is open.
The parking lot's pretty full with cars.
Oh, really?
Real estate never sleeps.
No.
On Facebook, Mimi, it looks like somebody's trying to flip your house. It looks just like your old house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
449, I think.
Really? Well, that's close to what we had it listed for.
Yeah, it looked like your old house.
That's funny. I can't imagine they would put it on the market. I mean, who knows? But
Right
100
now,
square feet.
although interest rate's good, 0. Huh?
yeah,
How many square feet was it, Amy?
3,400,
Oh, that's a big one.
almost 3,500.
Oh, wow.
The big house.
It's huge.
Yeah. Big house for a big family.
Mhm.
Give it a few more minutes, I'll close the door. This room is pretty empty.
Adrian never accepts my card, then Lauren sees like. I tried. I haven't done that either. I'm like, well, then because I feel like I don't. I gotta give you her. And then she has some stuff. Well, I didn't believe it. I was like. But now that like he's used the word, and now that he's like doing it with me, like we don't. Yeah. Where else? How many codes do I have? Oh, I'm gonna go up and down these stairs, Michaela. Can't believe it. But it's honestly, I get mad, but at the same time, it doesn't motivate me. And that's one of these lives. It's that. The days when they come in and say, you know what, this is that. I just want to close the room, but that's and then you upped it before you were like at 250. I was at 490 and something 540.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Okay, I just got my headphones working, so.
That's wonderful. I'm in front of- Right. I don't think anybody else is going to come, so we'll just go ahead and get started. Today, all I really wanted to do is show people how to use Zoom so that we can have a productive meeting next time. So I wasn't really figuring that we would have too many people show up physically here anyway. So looks like everybody so far knows how to get on the Zoom because you're here. One of the first things that I want to talk about is the screen positioning. And you can see right now I'm sitting in front of, there isn't very much light in front of me, so my face is pretty dark. But if I turn to the side, it will lighten up. So you need to be aware of what your camera positioning is. And yeah, Mimi, yeah, that's better. Mimi, if you can kind of lower your screen, look, yeah, there you go. I ended up doing on mine is I have a laptop at home, and the camera that's on the top of the edge of the screen really helped me that well. So it made me look like I was sitting too close. So I bought a camera that I put right on the edge of the laptop, and it set me back a lot farther, so it was easier to see me. And I think I'm going to try. I've got a PowerPoint that I did for another club, and well, actually, now I won't do that right now. One of the things that we need to know about when we are on Zoom is how to mute and unmute. And so that when there's one person speaking, you don't want to have all this background noise. So for most of you, if you're on a computer, in the lower left-hand corner, if you move your mouse down that area, you'll see probably a little icon of a microphone, or it may say mute or unmute. And if you click on that, it will turn on or off your microphone so that you are muted. And I can see that Mimi, Robin, Dave are muted, but Bernice, okay, Gary just found it. See, Bernice, can you find down the corner and mute?
Can you see?
It's in the lower left-hand corner on most of the computers.
I'm on an iPad.
Okay, the iPad's a little bit different. I think, for the iPad, I think if you touch the top part of the screen, then there'll be a bar that says mute or unmute.
Switch. It says switch camera.
So,
Mute. Oh, I see.
yeah, it's different. Okay, great, thanks. Okay, so that's what you do when you are not speaking, so that you don't interrupt, or if someone else is in the room and making noise, it doesn't disrupt the meeting. So that's one of the first things. And then, of course, if you click on it again, it will unmute so that you can talk when it's your turn, especially during table topics when you get called on. See, another thing is down at for most of us on the bottom of the screen, you'll see, first on the left, you'll see the microphone, and then there'll be a stop video. And if you are doing something that you don't want us to see, you can click on the stop video, and it will keep you, you'll still be connected, but we won't see your picture on screen. Oh, before you do that, for most of us on the upper right-hand corner, there's a little icon that says speaker view or gallery view. And if you click on speaker view, you'll probably only see one. But if you click on gallery view, then you should see a matrix of all our pictures. So if you do that, then, okay, once you do that, if you're in gallery view, and then if you go down to the bottom and stop your video, you should see that your picture goes blank, but everybody else is still there. You might want to try that. And for Bernice, it may be on the top of your screen. It's different on the iPad. Okay, so that's how you turn it off. If you want to do something you don't want us to see, you can turn off your video, but you can still hear. It doesn't turn off your audio; it just turns off the video. Okay, and if you don't have a picture and you just have your name, that means if you go to your profile, you can add a picture to your profile. And then when you go to video or stop video, then your profile picture will show up. Otherwise, your name will probably show up on the screen. Okay. Let's see. Another thing, if on the bottom, go back to the bottom edge again, we went to the mute, stop video, then there's invite, see, there should be manage participants. Do you see that? It looks like there's two profiles and then a number. Right now there's 7 of us, so you should see under manage participants, for participants, you'll see these 2 heads and number 7. You see that? Okay, if you click on that, it will list all the people and who's on screen right now. And then you'll see also that there's a microphone and a camera to the right of their name. And if there's a slash to it, it means they're muted. And if there's a slash to the camera, then that means their video is also turned off. Okay. All right, next to that, then there's a green box with the up arrow, and that says share. And that will allow you to share your computer screen with the rest of the group. So if you're giving like a PowerPoint presentation, you can click on share screen, and then everybody will see what you're doing on your PowerPoint. And then after that, there's a thing called chat. If you click on that, it's like it is a text box where you can enter messages to each other. And you might want to, if you participants are still up there, if you click participants first, that box will go away, and then you can click on chat, and it'll be replacing that same thing on the right-hand side of your screen. Okay, and then you'll see the messages in the chat box are starting at the top and go down, but at the very bottom of the screen, that's where you enter your message. And right now, it probably says to, and then it says everyone. It's in a gray box, and then there's a little down arrow right next to everyone. If you click on everyone, you'll see everybody's name who's on screen right now. So if you don't want to send a text message to the whole group, you can be selective and send it to only one person. So you can click on one of the names, and then it'll say to, and then that person's name, and then you can type your message underneath that, hit enter, and then it will go directly to whoever you selected the message to send a private message to them. Okay. Let's see, what else is there? That's pretty much the main thing on here. Those are the basics. One of the things that's a little bit hard to do in the online meeting is being the timer for the meeting, because it's hard to see where the clock is. So what we try to do is we designate one person to be the timer, and then you'll probably hold up green card, yellow card, red card. And sometimes because of your background, or if you have a green screen, it's hard to determine the color. So what I did on my cards, I put a big G on my green card, I put a Y on the yellow card, and then an R for the red card. So when I hold it up, you'll see what, at least the letter, yeah. Robin has it's showing right now the digital time, but depending on if you have your computer, it may not show the right color. It's hard to tell. So I said that's why I would probably use cards with a G, Y, and R besides that as a timer. So what you also need to do too is right now, I think most of you are probably in the gallery view. And if you are giving a speech and you need to see the timer, you'll need to probably put your computer display in the gallery view and then move the gallery view such that the timer space or their screen is in there. Right now, there's only 9 of us or 7 of us, so we can see everybody. But when it gets more than up to say 12 people, then you may have to scroll the screen either left and right or up and down depending on where your gallery view is showing up. So you'll need to position your display such that you can see the timer if you need that person as a timer. What I've been doing instead though is I just keep a timing device right next to me. So when I'm giving a speech or table topics or whatever, I time myself and not rely on the timer, because sometimes the timer forgets to turn things on, or somebody leaves or joins the meeting and it screws up the gallery view and you won't see that person. So I just keep my own time, and whoever's the timer, they can report that time, but at least I know how much time I've given, how much time I've been speaking. So I just have my own timing device right next to my computer. Let's see, what else is there? I belong to, well, I think I've mentioned before that I belong to an online club that meets in Singapore on Friday morning or Friday evenings there, but it's like 5 a.m. our time. They do something that's a little bit different for table topics, which is interesting. They've taken a PowerPoint presentation and then they have a list of 20 questions or 20 numbers, topic 1, 2, 3, up to 20. And then when you select whatever number you want, they click on that and then the topic pops up for you and then you can read it on screen. So that's kind of interesting, so that you would have at least 20 table topics already ready to go. And what the problem is, like in our clubs, a lot of people don't volunteer to speak. So what you can do, if you are the table topic master, is in gallery view, you can click on someone's picture, and when the yellow box goes around them, they know that they're on deck and they need to start looking at the topic and speaking. So that's how you could pick a person in an online meeting for something like table topics. Let's see. I'll stop right now. Any questions on anything I've said so far? Don't forget to unmute yourself if you want to say something. Okay. Let's see. Most of you already have actually everybody should have the meeting ID, and most of you probably went in directly into Zoom first and then join the meeting and then put in the code. Okay. What I'll do is I'll do that also. Like every week we try to send out the agenda. I'll do that like I have been, but what I'll also do for some people, if they're coming in on their iPad or iPhone, I'll put in the a hyperlink so they can click on that and come straight into. But for most part, I think people just, for me, it's easier just to log into Zoom and then select the meeting ID. But some people may not know how to do that, so the next couple of meetings we'll probably do a little bit more training on this. Let's see what we got. Oh, there's got to be something else we can do to make this go viral. Anybody got any comments? Fill in some time.
I want to know how to get a background like David.
Okay, okay. If you go down to the bottom of this, let's see where the microphone is, and then the video, stop video. There's a little up here right to the right of stop video.
Uh-huh.
You
Oh,
the video settings and then choose a virtual background. Now,
okay.
I think, Dave, do you have an actual green screen, or are you? Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I
what-
do.
don't have a green screen. It's, you don't want to wear green for this.
So you can see behind me,
Okay,
I have my green screen.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you my video, a little bit of my setup. So I went really cheap. I had this, honestly, so I kicked the kids out of the bedroom because they went off to college, and I've taken over the bedroom. And my wife will shoot me. But you can see this is a normal bedroom. And I have a green screen that's tied from one wall to the other one, and I can take it down. So you see that right there?
Yeah.
And I have lights on me in the front. I took a shop light, and the light was too bright, so then I took wax paper and put over it. And then I have some LEDs that I had laying around the garage. So I wanted to get rid of the shadows. So I have it right here. I have myself set up. So what I could do is, maybe if I could share my screen. How do I do that?
Oh,
Chair.
share.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
No, yeah.
Not yet. Okay. Screen share.
Bottom.
Okay,
There you
so here on my screen, I was able to click on the video over to the side, and then I clicked on virtual background, and I could add different backgrounds
Oh,
because of my green screen. And it
Gotcha.
doesn't have to be green. If you have a solid color that will not be on your face or on your body, that'll be the best. If you,
Okay.
Dennis has done it without a green screen, and I think Adam Franks has also done it without a green screen, but his head disappears sometimes when he moves. You can also have video in the background. I like this one. I'll keep this one. So we'll do that. So let me unshare, and then you can see, actually, oh,
If you don't have a green screen, it won't work at all, huh? Because I
no,
just,
no, it does work, but it doesn't work as well.
because it said my computer's not set up.
Okay, so the green screen that this size is available at Amazon for about $10. You'll get it in about 4 days. I think it's important also to have light in front of you,
okay.
because you get washed out if you don't have the light. It all looks a little bit better.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Well, what are those notes hanging on the wall? Is that your-
Notes hanging-
Or what are those papers with the blue tape?
Oh, those are my thoughts for the day to keep me motivated,
Oh, cool.
to keep me in here. But you can't see that, can you? No, you saw it when you,
When you
Walk-
moved it around,
I was going to say, oh, wow, do I have another camera working here?
I think we can see your there you go,
Okay, there we go.
your screen.
So
Okay,
I like
that is
this.
really cool. So are you enjoying the weather there?
At the beach?
At the beach, oh yes. I was going to say, no, it's kind of cloudy. It feels a lot like Oregon right now. Just kind of cloudy and just ready to rain.
Well, that's cool.
Just take a bunch of pictures with nice backgrounds, and then you can make that background with a green screen.
Oh, absolutely. My son went out and bought, I don't know, 100 backgrounds, and we were playing with them. So I could be in my study,
Buddy?
or I could be on the docks. So you could do anything, or you could take pictures yourself.
Okay.
Put yourself in the organ backdrop.
Picture Mount Hood.
I'll just take a picture of the farm.
Exactly.
Do that an acre at a time, and we'll have lots of pictures.
All right. So when's your next meeting? Are you
We'll just do happen the first and third,
so the second?
or the first Thursday and the second and third Thursday, and
Okay. And that'll be your first meeting, actual meeting, like with speakers?
yeah, we'll go back to regular format at the next meeting. Hopefully, people will be able to use Zoom, but we may have to take a few minutes at the very beginning to get people to understand what to do, and then from there we can jump into the meeting.
This is very helpful, Dennis. Thank you.
I will make sure everybody knows how to at least mute and then change your screen and do the gallery and speaker view, because if you don't see the people, you don't know what's going on. So gallery view is probably the best way to see most of the people. But when you're a speaker, I guess you'd like to be the only person in front, but each individual can select what they see. So even the speaker is talking and you want to have it in gallery view, you'll still do that. What you'll see right now is like on my screen behind, you'll see that there's a yellow box around one of the squares right now.
Mhm.
And talking, the yellow will move to whoever's talking. So that's a quick way to see what's going on. But as for the timer, you need to be able to see the timing device, so it's best to try to put it in gallery. But when we have too many people, you may have to, then it has some areas for you to click to either to shift the screen so that you can see other people in the room. So that's the only trick, is when we have to have a timer. But it's that for me, I try to have my own timing device, just because if I miss what's going on, or I'm focusing on my presentation, and I don't have to keep moving around the screen to see how much time I've given speaking. So I do my own timing anyway. Let's see. I think that's about it. I said probably next week I might want to try to have a real short officers meeting for those who are officers, just to see if there's anything else we need to do. We did find out that the dues period has been extended to the end of next month, so we don't have to worry about collecting dues. They're also looking at possibly delaying or extending the time for the people to complete the legacy presentations. Right now it's the end of June, but since a lot of the clubs can't meet, or if they don't take the opportunity to have online meetings, then they can't give speeches. So there's a chance that the legacy program might get extended. And Gary, for your information, I did try to get a hold of the other club, but they haven't responded back to me yet. So what I may do is go try to get online to one of their meetings, or call one of the officers and speak directly to find out what speeches you have done in the evening club.
Okay, thank you.
See, it's a short meeting, but I think we covered everything we need to, unless you have other things to talk about. I don't want to take up everybody's time, but
Are we not going to do speeches or anything today?
we're the only ones here.
Huh? I know, but Gary's ready.
I even wore a tie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you have pants on.
I even have my evaluation form.
If you want to, we can go ahead and do your presentation.
I even have a word of the day.
Okay,
Perfect.
we are set.
Pandemic. An epidemic occurring on a scale that crosses international boundaries, usually affecting a large number of people. It can also occur in important agricultural organisms, such as livestock, crop plants, fish, tree species, or in other organisms. And I know this is something that New Zealand has always been concerned about, because when we've traveled there twice, they've examined the bottom of our shoes to see if there's any soil that could damage their agriculture. So that was interesting to me. And then my, I think it's on here. Yeah, it's in my pictures. A saying or whatever, fall in love with taking care of your body. This is the most important time, because if we don't do that, we don't have anything. And right now they are definitely enforcing that. So that's one of the positive things about this, is it's teaching us to be more aware. Thank you.
Robin?
Thanks.
Oh, that was the other. For the online meetings, since most of us are muted, what they do is that for applause, instead of doing this, they just wave their hands, so that if you hold your hands up like this, that's applauding. And if someone is speaking and they're muted and forget to unmute, they'll just do like this, so that they'll see that and learn that they need to unmute. That's a couple of other things that we do in online meetings, because we don't have the opportunity to really hear. Let's see, what else could I think of? I found out too, the district conference that's supposed to be next month is canceled right now. So there is no district conference on the 24th and 25th in Modesto. I made my hotel reservations early, and I called them, I think it was yesterday, and they had already canceled my reservation, so they knew that we weren't going to be coming there. So I don't know when that'll be rescheduled, but I have a feeling if it lasts much longer like this, we may have to have our speech contest online too. And that's another thing. For giving, if you are trying to give an online presentation and you are a speaker, you need to be aware of your presentation, your screen, and you need to get farther away, especially if you want to use gestures. I can't back up too much farther, but if I stand up, I'll hit the screen. You want to make sure that there's enough of you showing so that you can use gestures normally rather than have to hold them up real high. So, and also the volume too is another consideration. If you're too far back, you might need to have a lavalier microphone or something like that, or a shotgun microphone that will pick up your voice, especially if you're halfway across the room. So that's another thing that we'll have to be thinking about when if we do have an online speech contest. Let's see. Now, there's just lots of different things that you need to be aware of in a video conference. If you're using notes, it's going to be very obvious because you're not looking directly at the camera. You're looking off to the side, looking down. So you need to be aware of your positioning of your notes if you are using notes, so that it doesn't look like you're not paying attention looking at the screen. But if you watch all of the TV shows and the different things like that, you'll know that they do focus on the camera, and sometimes they have to change position because they want a different view. So they're looking at the lights on top of the camera to know which camera is on them at the time. So it is a different world using video, but it looks like it's the way to go right now.
I have a question, Dennis, about how do we handle votes and giving feedback, the little notes that we would give to.
Let's see. I don't see it right here, but on some of them, I know that there's a way to set up a poll, and I'll have to look on and see if I have to change my subscription to the next level up. But on the one that I do go to on Friday mornings, there is a way that they can put the poll online. The tab pops up, a window opens up with all people's names, and then you click on whoever you want to vote for, and it tells you what the percentage is and how long and all that stuff, and then that's how you vote online. But that's something I'll need to check on to see if the subscription I have will let me do that, or if I have to bump up one more so that we can do voting online. But you can do it online. Another way I could do it would be through the chat box. Whoever is the vote counter, we could send a private message to whoever's the designated vote counter, and say who you want to vote for. And that would be another way that we could do that too, is just send a private message to whoever the vote counter is and make it count the votes that way. So we can that'd be probably the way we might be doing it, is just through the chat box. But if I can do it.
That sounds good to me, especially if it's going to increase a cost to you. That's not right for that to happen.
Well, see how much it is. If I might be able to do it with the subscription that I have, and if not, we can do it in the chat box. Okay. I hadn't thought about that. I forgot about that. Can't think of anything else. Anybody else got any questions?
Hey, Dennis, I would like to do a group project.
Yes.
It's part of level 4. And what I like to do is take everything that you've said today, and with a few other people, I need to have 3 other volunteers to help me put this together, and more information on etiquette online, how to present your best self, how to address the camera, where should you put the camera, the lights, more discussion, those types of things to help people project themselves well and professionally on Zoom. I think we're going to do more of this. I think this gives us an opportunity to connect with more people. And I don't know if this pandemic is going to go away. I think we're going to get back to a normal life, but I don't know what new normal is going to be. It's kind of like what happened after 9/11. We had a new normal. There's going to be other diseases. We may do this again another time, but I think it'll help all of us if we learned better skills and learn more skills how to work with Zoom. What are your thoughts?
There's actually a webinar this afternoon that I'm going to that is discussing this. If you look on Facebook, there's a lot of different people having different webinars and how to do this. So look at some of that and then use that for more information.
Correct. And we bring it together, create it for our own group, and we can have our own culture and say, hey, this is how we want to do it. Would anybody like to participate with me?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I would.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary.
You can raise your hand too. We can't hear her, but
Robin? Okay, Mimi. Did I get everybody?
yeah,
We just have to come up with a date and a time to meet.
yeah, then I can set up the Zoom conference whatever time you want, then we can just use my number and dial in.
I appreciate that, Dennis. Thank you.
Yeah, just pick a time, we'll set it up and we can send out a message.
Okay, I'll send an email out to everybody and we'll come up with some dates and times we can get together and talk about this.
Or this afternoon, I'm going to go to, and which is discussing exactly what you're going to talk about and or want to do. And so there's a lot of information out there right now. It's just a matter of pulling the pieces together and tailor it to our group, since we
Yes.
are to this. Yeah. Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right. Anything else? Well, if there's nothing else, good to see everybody. And we'll do this again on our normal time. I'll send out we'll basically probably use the same agenda we used today.
What about Gary?
Information about how to log in and just try to run the meeting like we're going to do today online.
Yeah, I can wait, Robin, if that's.
Let's do it. Let's
Okay, well, why not have Gary give his presentation?
Either way, whichever.
Do it
works for
quick.
you guys.
You can still do it at the next meeting, but you want us to do some.
Do it today. Why?
Yeah, might as well. I'm okay with practice.
Let me get my timing device.
Shall I introduce him?
Yes, I didn't give you a proper introduction. I apologize.
That's all right. I can just tell him a
You're
little.
gonna lean.
Gary W. is what I call you.
Yes.
Gary W. will be doing his introduction speech, and his title of his speech is Rebel Without a Clause.
No, with a clause.
Oh, with a clause. I'm sorry, with a clause. Thank you.
Yeah, the time.
It's his introduction speech, and it's part of the computer system. I don't even remember what it's called. I know that's pathetic.
What's your time on that, Gary? 5 to 7?
Rebel with a clause. And the time, oh, I'm sorry, I should title. It's 4 to 6 is for the icebreaker.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Dennis, our Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. I was born to write, and I never knew where it would take me. My teachers in elementary school always told me I had the gift of being able to write well. And so they said, develop it. And all throughout high school, I even remember my teachers were saying, told the whole class, this is the best term paper I've ever read in my life. And then when I was in college, after college in my 20s, I was hanging out with my friends, and their dad was in the direct mail business. And he said, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I'm thinking of being a screenwriter." He goes, "Don't do that. You'll starve. Here, become a direct mail advertising copywriter. You can make a good living, and you can help the organizations that you care about," because I was involved in politics and stuff like that. And so was this particular family. And so he gave me a book on how to write fundraising letters. And I was fascinated by it because now I could use my writing skill to do something worthwhile. And you even get paid for it. And so over the years, this guy, John Finn was his name. He's passed away. He was located down in Redondo Beach. And he was like the nexus, the hub of all this activity in the direct mail industry. So he got me all my clients. And he even got me these jobs with two of the most legendary gurus in our business. One guy named Jay Abraham, who's still around. You can go to abraham.com and find out what he's all about. He's a marketing genius. And then another guy who passed away, Gary Halbert. And so I worked for those guys as their right-hand man, as their assistant, and got a great education. People would pay millions of dollars to learn from these guys because they know how to turn words into money. And that's what they taught me. And then in 1991, I went as a freelance writer, and I've been a freelance writer ever since. And so I've had literally thousands of clients around the country. And that's been the basis of my career because I can get paid to scribble. But it all really started when I was still in like fourth grade. I got interested in politics, and my dad was very conservative, and he'd have all this conservative literature hanging around the house. And I was fascinated by it. And so I even started writing letters to the editor because the pen is mightier than the sword, right? And that got me my start because seeing your name in print is pretty cool. And as you're a kid, especially, there's not much else you can do. So I started writing letters to the editor on all the time on topics of the day, and they would always get published, or at least the majority of them, even in the LA Times. And one of my best claim to fame there is one time I had a particular issue. I wanted to flood the LA Times with letters so that we should at least get one published. So I wrote 12 different letters and had a bunch of my friends each submit one of these letters under their own name. And I looked in the LA Times one morning, and 4 of them got printed on the same day. So that was quite a coup. And you don't know how good that feels when you open up and you own the editorial page of the LA Times. So that is why I love being a writer, because I'm kind of the influencer type, although not in that word that people use today, but I just like to influence people, and I like to inform people and persuade people and entertain people. And with advertising, you can do all 3 at once. And then, so overall in my career, I've probably raised for pro-life, and I'm Catholic, so I work with a lot of Catholic lay apostolates too. And I've probably raised over $100 million for these organizations. So that's gives you a good feeling. While you're making a good living, you can do good work. And so I learned how to turn pencil lead into gold. I call myself an alchemist. And when I moved here to Visalia, it was because one of the clients that I was working with, I helped sign them up when I was working with Jay Abraham. They're located here in Visalia. And then their business was taken off, and they said, "Hey, why don't you come up here? We're so busy, we need you here in our office full time." So that was 1994. I moved to Visalia from LA, and I've been here ever since. I love this town. It's a great place to be. And one time I dated a girl from this particular client, and then we broke up. Stupid. But I decided to write a personal ad because this one guru that I learned from, Gary Halbert, he had done that. And another guy who started Entrepreneur Magazine, Chase Ravel, he had run a full-page ad in a newspaper down in LA looking for a girlfriend. And so one day I decided to do that, and I ran a half-page ad in the Times Delta. And the headline says, "LA man moves to Visalia and discovers that all the nicest girls here are already taken. Can you prove him wrong?" That was the beginning of my dating career here in Visalia. Finally got married here, got divorced here, the American dream. And I have a stepdaughter who I'm close to here. She's now 26. She was 3 when I met her mom. So I've lived a good long life and an interesting career, and I'm almost out of time. So that is why I'm a writer. I love it. And now everybody wants to be a copywriter on the internet. It's crazy. but it's not that easy. You have to have the gift. And I was lucky. I have the gift and I had great mentors. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Got 30 seconds left.
Hey. Had my own timer going on there.
Very good. Does anybody give an evaluation to Gary? Any takers? Well, I have good coverage, Gary. I couldn't see. I was trying to hold the timer up, so I wasn't.
Okay. I have known Gary for a while because he was in the evening Toastmasters. And when you presented the article, you read us the article, which
Mhm.
was hilarious. It was really good.
Thank you.
My only comment would be, it's too bad you didn't have enough time to share the article with us.
That's a whole speech in itself.
Yeah, but no, I think you did a really good job. Did hear a few and so's, but I think you did a great job. It was very well put together chronologically. I think it was done well, and I hopefully you'll do it again and have the rest of the club hear your story.
My pleasure.
Gary, I appreciated your presence on television. You present very well. You address the camera. You're not looking down. Your focus was right to me. And I really appreciated that.
Thank you.
Because a lot of times when I see people get online, they're always looking at themselves, they're looking at some other part of the camera, or that they're looking somewhere else on the screen, and they're not speaking to the individual. I felt like you were talking directly to me.
Thank you. I've been practicing on that because the camera is, it's only this little dot there. And I noticed that most people, when they're taking selfies, they look in the wrong place. There, it's like, no, that's the microphone.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments for Gary? Okay, Robert, do you have any other ideas for next week or next meeting?
I'm sorry, what was that, Dennis?
I was asking Robin if she had any other ideas.
What do you mean ideas? Wouldn't we run it the same way we always do, or? Oh, I do need to get signups. Are we just going to use the signups we have? I can't.
Yeah, we need
Oh, there you are.
to sign up. I saw that Christilda popped in for a moment and then she dropped back.
Yeah, I wrote her name down.
All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up, I guess. But glad everybody was able to come today. Hopefully you picked up some ideas, and we can have at least there'll be 6 or 7 of us who know how to use Zoom, and we'll help the rest get on board. This is probably what we have to meet for.
Dennis, who's going to reach out to those who did not attend today?
I'm not sure how to do it other than just send out the agenda and put a header on there or more comments about what the expectations will be for the next meeting. That we will be on Zoom for an undetermined time. This is the way we will be meeting until this situation dies down. And I guess what we can do is I'd like to have a short officers meeting next week. And then after that, I can just set the time frame that we'll have our officer meeting for, say 12 to 12:30, and then from 12:30 on, if anybody wants to learn a little bit more how to use Zoom before the meeting, our next regular meeting, log in after 12:30, and I'll just stay online and do what I can to help them out.
So 12 o'clock Thursday?
Who's here?
Okay.
It's going to feel short. I just want to create having meetings on a regular basis. There's not a whole lot to talk about other than we need a few more members. One of the things I wanted to do is Cindy is our club coach, and she was our club coach, I think, last year, but we didn't quite make distinguished. This year, we are very close to becoming distinguished. So I think if we can get Gary's to figure out where Gary left off with his manual, I think Gary will be able to complete a competent communicator, which gives us another check mark. We are very close to hitting the mark as far as the number of members. I think we're in a category where we have to do +5 because we're less than, I think we're at 13 as our base, and our +5 is 18. We end up with 18 or more members by the end of June. We have the membership taken care of. I think, and then if we gain a few more members, I think we'll get another check mark. So I think just based on probably gaining a few more members, and if we can get Gary's completion on the competent communicator, we can be distinguished, and that way Cindy will be given completion as a club coach. So I'd like to be able to do that. I think we can. There was 1 or 2 more people who came to our meetings who wanted to join. And if we can get them signed up, I think we'll be able to hit our +5 on our membership. I want to see if we can talk about too at our next officer.
Dennis, are you going to reach out to those people? I think do you have the book? People who signed up? I don't have the book.
I don't have it right now. I do have information right. Get hold of it, give the information because
It's in the cabinet in the back, whoops, in the back of the room.
back there. Okay, I'll look at it and see if I can take another picture of their house and then send something out to them.
Right, if you want to send it to me, I can help make those calls.
Perfect. Dennis, I see that you're recording this session. I'd like to see it. I don't know how I come across, because I cannot hear myself in my headphones. So I could watch the video and I see what I do, but I would like to hear to see if I'm too loud, too soft, too close to the microphone.
Okay. Yeah, when we'll record, and then I'll capture the file, and then I'll see how big it is and see if I can send it to you or have to find a Dropbox or something too.
Okay, thanks.
After that, it records. All right. There's nothing else. Everybody.
Thank
Okay,
you.
see ya.
Take care.
Gary, good job.
Thank you very much. Good bless.
Enjoyed that.